So to start, if you hear a doorbell ring, it's Halloween, and we got little kids ringing doorbells. So if you hear that, just be wary of that. But anyway, down to business. So, so today was the trade deadline at 4 p.m. Eastern. Some were closer to the deadline than others.
Cincinnati and Cleveland.
I will give you one of the trades that happened, and I want your thoughts on it. I think there's three main ones that we're going to go over. The first one that happened, I believe it was last night, was Jimmy Garoppolo to the 49ers for the second-round pick. What are your thoughts on Jimmy G, the trade? What did they give up? Just go ahead.
Second round pick to the Patriots is really the same as a late round, first round pick because the Patriots are obviously good every year. So a second round pick is kind of like another first round pick for the Patriots because they're always drafting late. Anyway, but for the San Francisco 49ers, why couldn't you wait till the year's over? No one 0-8 has ever gone to the playoffs.
And I just want to point out too, Jimmy Garoppolo is actually going to be a free agent
at the end of the season. So he can go make you 8-8. You really like him. He likes the playbook. You don't pay him enough. He's a free agent. He walks. So I think smart from the Patriots, get something for him, and then if they give you something, and he might even got to keep him because he's gonna walk. So for San Francisco, the timing seems a little bit weird. Maybe if you're just trying to get reps in the regular season, I can see that. But Belichick has got a lot of confidence in him. It also kind of shows that the Patriots are a sinking ship. Not obviously right now. I'm not going to say the Patriots are going to fall off a cliff or anything, but the Patriots are definitely on their last legs. I mean, Tom Brady's not getting any younger. Obviously, that's not possible. But they're not They're not a young team, and they look like it kind of reminds me of the Arizona Cardinals in the sense that they're aging and they're not doing anything about it. So for San Francisco's standpoint, they got something out of it, but it's nothing really blowing up. I'm actually kind of happy that it happened because people have been saying Jimmy Garoppolo is going to leave in like August, and that never happened. Then maybe A.J. McCarron, maybe Kirk Cousins, or somebody's going to the 49ers. And, well, it was Jimmy Garoppolo, which is good. Now we can stop talking about it and get down to the actual important things in the NFC West, like who's actually going to win the division, not who's ever going to be the starting losing quarterback for the 49ers.
So, to a point I agree with you, and to a point I don't. I really think the Patriots lost this trade. I don't think it was a really good trade for either team. Like you said, the 49ers are lost hope at this point. Mm-hmm. Jimmy's going to be a free agent at the end of the season. He's going to expect a lot of money, and really it just hurts Kirk Cousins as well. I mean, Kirk Cousins, maybe I think he was understanding, maybe I'm going to go to the 49ers. I don't know.
Did he want to go there?
I don't know. I'm just saying something. But, Kyle Shanahan gets Jimmy Garoppolo. I wouldn't say it's a bad trade for either team, but I don't think it was a good trade.
Right.
It was. It's good for them to get some new looks in there. Mm-hmm. To be fair, Jimmy Garoppolo's only had 2 games of film, so if that's either good or bad depending on how you look at it. Mm-hmm. But regardless, I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo from what we've seen looks pretty good. However, on the Patriots side of things, Bill Belichick's saying basically, when Brady's done, I'm done.
Yeah, perfect. Yep, I'm done. He's
done. Because honestly, they don't have a backup quarterback. It's just Tom Brady right now. One quarterback.
Yep.
And I was listening to, I think it was Shannon Sharp, and he was saying that basically the Patriots are one hit away from being the Packers, which is true.
It's gonna be
but at the same time, Bill Belichick is putting his faith and gambling in Tom Brady being in all the games for this year. Possibly 2-3 more years, or 1 or 2, for the years to come. But I think Bill Belichick is saying right now, I'm going to try and do what's best for my current team to win a Super Bowl. And if that means getting rid of cap space, because obviously Jimmy G was going to want a lot of money in the offseason because he was going to be a free agent. Now, what I don't understand is why they... On the timing part, why they didn't ship him out during the draft? Because apparently Jimmy's value was through the roof. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Wasn't it like a first round, a third round?
From what they were saying, apparently it was
maybe like a seventh or something else. but it's a second something. I think it was Colin Cowherd. I'm not going to steal what he said, but maybe it's like a relationship because Bill Belichick is close with a lot of people because he's coached for like 18 years and he's been in the league for like forever. So maybe it's like I'm leaving this business. It's kind of like my retirement party almost. Like I'm gonna win the Super Bowl this year. He's not going to, but it's kind of like I'm gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Retirement mentality. Here's a gift. He's pretty good. He might win you some games. Might be a starter for a couple years. You can go find your true kid. I don't know who the true kid is for the 49ers. Nobody really knows. But here's a gift. I'm on my way out. You're welcome. This team is when I retire, when Tom Brady's gonna retire. They're gonna retire within probably one to 2 years.
I would say that's and honestly at that point the Patriots are going to start over because Gronk is still injury prone. Julian Edelman had a terrible knee injury this year or leg injury, whatever it was. Chris Hogan's out for a couple weeks.
Yep.
I mean Brandon Cooks is okay, but he's not a dependable number one wide receiver.
You know what I think happening is, I'm saying within 4 years, the starters from the 2014 Super Bowl, there's not going to be basically any of them left, besides like James White, because Brandon Cooks is still going to be there, but he wasn't there from 2014. Brady's going to be gone. Gronkowski's going to be gone. I think Julian Edelman will retire. I think Belichick will retire coaching. I think Josh McDaniels will be the head coach because they'll just keep it in house.
That would make sense, kind of Patriots dynasty.
Keep it in house, which would be fine. They'd be a more offensive team. They kind of look like Kansas City. Quarterbacks, I'm not even going to pretend to think who the quarterback would be in the next 4 years.
Honestly, at this point, they don't have backups. We can't base anything.
No, I mean...
Because they traded away Jacoby Brissett, too. So.
Yep, he's in Indianapolis, and he's playing pretty well.
I mean, yeah, he's playing pretty well.
But I'm surprised that the Patriots don't pick up a kid off the street soon.
They should.
They should,
if
because...
they want an insurance policy. Otherwise, they're going to have... Oh, wait, they can't because Julian Edelman's injured.
You can't do that Wildcat quarterback thing You can't just like go, oh, Julian, you take snap to Wildcat. I mean, honestly, what we've seen from James White, he can do everything.
Yeah.
But to the point where you said he's been gambling on Brady, he's been gambling on Brady since the Bledsoe hit.
True. I mean, that's very true.
He gambled on Brady to his first Super Bowl and continued gambling on Brady basically his whole career. It's been a really good gamble. But like a gambler, you're going to win it all, and if you keep winning, eventually you will lose it all.
Yep.
And he's got a great dynasty. He's a Hall of Famer coach. Brady's a Hall of Famer. I think Gronk's a Hall of Famer. Kraft's in the Hall of Fame, obviously, for just the way he's run this team and stuff like that. But you've had a good run. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom's like 6 rings, 5, another AFC championship. I'm done. I don't need anything else to prove. I'm going to go home to my wife. What else is there for the Patriots left? I mean, start over, rebuild. So
that's why I'm saying, I don't think really either team won this trade.
Yep.
But I don't think either team really lost it either.
Isn't that the perfect trade though?
Yeah.
Neither team wins, neither team loses.
That's true.
Both get a little bit better.
That's true.
Let's talk about the Eagles.
I'm liking it. So the second trade we'll talk about is Jay Ajayi going to the Philadelphia Eagles for what was it, 4th round pick?
Yeah, that's just a lot right there.
And my initial thoughts on this one are, I don't know why Philadelphia went for Jay Ajayi. I understand Jay Ajayi's got a great upside. I mean, we've seen him go over 200 rushing yards. He can rush for over 100 even.
I mean, that's that run pass option with Carson Wentz is looking really scary.
Yeah,
right now.
It can really. It's I see the the threat, but I understand. I mean,
the Eagles.
What is Miami doing? And they also said, we are willing to trade away Jarvis Landry for the right price. Are you shipping out your entire team at this point?
Honestly, Miami is so confused. I think Adam Gase has lost the team. They've lost.
I mean, they lost it when they lost Ryan Tannehill for the year.
I honestly think it goes all the way back to when they. I'm not gonna just say his whole tenure in Miami's been a failure, but he's done some great moments for Miami. But I can't just say it's a Kenny Stills drop. But remember the Dan Campbell era? Where he took over as head coach for the Miami Dolphins and he was the coach for 3 years, 4 games or something like that. After that, Miami has never been structurally sound, and they just kind of been like a dying animal limping through. Now Jarvis Landry's a great wide receiver. I could see him going to New York with Odell after Brandon Marshall leaves.
Well, obviously we can't now.
See
the trade deadline's down, so I mean,
with the way Miami's coaching, they might just release.
I mean, but the Giants didn't have much to offer there. So
the point. I don't know. The quarterback situation in Miami is a problem. they're not going to fail enough to get to pick someone high enough because there's no one in the draft. I've looked at like the mock draft and stuff. There's no one Miami is going to pick and be like, yeah, we're going to be great this year.
Well, so that's my point. I mean, you're getting rid of Jay Ajayi. You're starting running back.
Yep.
For a fourth rounder. Are you really going to get that much value out of a fourth rounder? And so on this trade, personally, I think the Eagles won this trade.
Eagles won this trade.
To a large extent here.
Actually, I honestly don't know how much the Miami Dolphins had to do with this trade at all. I mean, they obviously petitioned the trade. But I think it's more so Jay Ajayi because he saw the writing around in the wall in Miami. But I think it also has to do with the fact about was his offensive line coach or like someone in the offense that was busted for doing drugs. I think he saw something here and went, okay, there's not consistency here, there's not structure.
And it's not a great environment. I mean, if he's especially because I think Ajayi's had 2 games for over 100 yards and that's it.
Yeah.
So
week 1 and 2.
I mean, we've seen what what he can do. I mean, he's the J train. And honestly, the Eagles are looking scary right now. They haven't really faced a really difficult team, but I was talking with someone at school and they were saying, they don't have to because the good teams are taking each other out. I mean, you're looking at it. Aaron Rodgers is down.
Yep.
At this point, Zeke's out 6 games.
Yep.
Washington is completely injured. The Giants are terrible.
Oh, yeah.
The Falcons are mediocre. Seattle can play, get 30 points every other 5 games.
Right. I'm just saying, look at the NFC. Look what's happened in the NFL. Denver beat up the Cowboys.
And now they're terrible.
Trevor Simeon's awful. We might have to talk about the Broncos in a little bit later. We might have to. But they look terrible. The AFC is in shambles besides the Patriots. The Patriots are not the same team. They almost lost to the Chargers at home. This is the fast track to the Super Bowl for Philadelphia. It's never been this clear for the Eagles to the Super Bowl since 2004.
I mean, what are they? They're 7-1.
Yeah.
They've got a great defense with Fletcher Cox on there. I mean, they still have Malcolm Jenkins, right?
Absolutely.
Yep.
And they got some players in the offseason that not many people remember about. They got Derek Barnett in the draft. I mean, they got Jay Ajayi. They still have LG.
Yeah, LeGarrette Blount, Wendell Smallwood.
They got blunt force trauma. Carson Wentz. They literally, the only thing the Eagles can't do to win is make a mistake.
Yeah.
The only Eagles' worst enemy right now is the Eagles.
And I want to point out, I mean, like you said, they've got a nice track to the Super Bowl here because at this point, in their division, Dallas, I mean, unless Dak starts throwing for 354 touchdowns,
doesn't matter. Even if
Dallas is I mean, Philadelphia's got a good chance at the division title no matter what. I mean, Dallas might get a wild card. We have no idea. And then, Washington.
It'd be in Philadelphia. It doesn't matter.
Because Philly would have home field advantage, which I don't know. We haven't seen Dallas play Philly yet this year, so we can't base that off much.
Do you really think the Cowboys with that defense are going to stop this new offense?
Not without Zeke.
Alshon Jeffrey? No. It seems like
Alshon Jeffrey hasn't been really phenomenal, but
conspiracy.
I'm really helped. Okay, go ahead. But I was
conspiracy theories aside. Is the commissioner an Eagles fan? I mean, this is setting up for the perfect Eagles season.
I don't think
he is, but I'm just saying.
I mean, you can't do that, but
it kind of looks like it.
But wouldn't you agree that one of the big threats in the NFC, Aaron Rodgers, is out for the year. Done. They're not even going to make the playoffs. No. Enough said. The Falcons,
done.
Ever since Kyle Shanahan left, their offense has been in shambles.
The Falcons are literally the 85 Bears. Not saying that they had the defense or anything like that, but they had the perfect marriage of coaching, basically with the Bears had Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan, and the Falcons had Shanahan and Dan Quinn. They separated. They were never the same. Atlanta, the only way to fix Atlanta is to bring Kyle Shanahan back. I don't even know if that would fix it. Julio Jones is a sell of himself.
Well, I mean, you can't expect to win if you're only giving Julio 4 targets a game.
You can't. No, you just can't.
And Matt Ryan, I'm sorry for people that think Matt Ryan's a good quarterback, but he's not a good quarterback. I'm sorry.
He's not bad.
He's not bad, but he's not elite. I don't think he's elite.
He's better than Joe Flacco.
Oh, for sure. Joe Flacco's at the bottom.
I mean, Joe Flacco's like elite club.
Nah.
It's like the little kid saying trick or
treat. But anyway, I mean, but now the fact that the Eagles now have Ajayi, I think like you said, at this point, now they just got to find their running game identity, and they're set. I mean, they got a track to Minneapolis.
They're playing in Minneapolis. I mean, look at the AFC. If they get to Minneapolis, who would stop them in the AFC?
The only 1 or 2 teams I'm thinking of that would stop them in the
Kansas
AFC.
City?
maybe Kansas City.
But they look
I'm
so
thinking
inconsistent.
Houston right now. Have you seen that offensive juggernaut?
Yeah, but they just lost Dwayne Brown though.
I mean, maybe there's a great rookie in the back that that'll
But
be
the
good.
way with the way Deshaun Watson's playing, jeez.
I told you that he was the best quarterback in the draft.
I still said Mahomes is playing the best, but Mahomes can't get a starting job when Alex Smith is lighting it up. Mm-hmm. I would love to see an Andy Reid versus the Eagles Super Bowl. I would love to see that.
I don't know. Honestly, Kansas City they always do this. They start out great, and then they fall back to mediocre.
They really do.
And, honestly, they have great big play potential, but, Travis Kelce, he's great, but when you lock up Travis Kelce, they lose.
And he gets mad.
Just look at Pittsburgh.
He throws his towel at the official. It's a destructive cycle. We've seen this before. But I don't trust Houston in the playoffs.
New quarterback. DeAndre Hopkins is finding his rhythm again. Thank goodness. I feel great.
Will Fuller has come out of nowhere.
Oh my God. He's got what? Half of his targets are touchdowns. That's insane.
I knew he was fast at Notre Dame. I was like, oh yeah, this kid's fast. And then I see him on film. I'm like, he's really fast. Like, he's leaving Sherman. I'm like, this is Ted Ginn style speed here. I'm like, where has this been? Why didn't Carolina trade for him? Seriously.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's really Philadelphia's only AFC competition, but the NFC competition, it's basically just Philly. If they're having troubles figuring out who do we want to start at running back, I think that's going to be an issue because you just need to keep playing your game and figure out what's going to work. I wouldn't be surprised if Ajayi doesn't play this week.
No, I think they'd give him at least they'd work him into the game plan next week, and then after that they'd roll. But this week's probably going to be a heavy dose of blunt force trauma.
And Wendell Smallwood. And the passing downs.
And then Clarence Clement might be practice squatted or released.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, so that's the Eagle-Dolphin trade. Mm-hmm. So, to recap, I think the Eagles really won that trade.
Yep.
Miami's honestly a mess, just like the 49ers.
They're imploding.
Yeah. Now, the third trade we're going to talk about is the Carolina Panthers. Your Carolina Panthers, buddy, traded away Calvin Benjamin to the Buffalo Bills for a 3rd round and a 7th round pick.
Honestly, let me just put this they are the Buffalo Panthers now. It's official. The Buffalo Bills are basically like Carolina's sister team. It's Sean McDermott.
Buffalo's got this very similar, team.
It's the same team.
They have Tyrod Taylor,
running quarterbacks.
LaShawn McCoy, which I think is more of an upgrade, but it's kind of like Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, Chris McCaffrey's a better receiver, but LaShawn McCoy is a better all-around player.
Agreed. They both have mediocre receiving cores, okay offensive lines.
But Buffalo's receiving core got a lot better.
They got Jordan Matthews, they got Andre Holmes, Calvin Benjamin.
What number is he going to wear, though?
I don't know. Who's 13?
I'm just trying to think. I think, no, Andre Holmes not. Anyway.
He's 18.
Yeah. No, and then Jordan Matthews is 81, so the Bills will be fine. Our defense is good, but a 3rd and a 7th. He was an early 1st round pick in 2014.
I understand that. I understand that he's also underproduced for the Panthers, but this was the year to give Cam Newton the weapons, and now they're taking away from him.
He had a bad year last year. I can't sugarcoat that. I just can't sugarcoat that last year. He had a bad year. He had a really bad game against the Bears where he couldn't get anything offensively going. So you get rid of the 2nd best receiver? For what? And it's not they got the 3rd and 7th. It's if they did this 2 weeks before the trade deadline, that would have made more sense because then they have something to go use before the trade deadline. You get rid of Kelvin Benjamin. Okay, let's go get Josh Dotson. Or let's go get Will Fuller real quick before the trade deadline. But they don't do anything after the trade deadline. You can't do anything after the trade deadline. But they make this trade. It felt like it was the one part of a trade. We're going to trade this, and then from another team, we'll go get this. But they never did. So you're just kind of sitting here going, did you miss time manage this? What happened? And Cam's kind of why would you do this to me? Steve Smith is left under him. Brandon LaFell is left. Kelvin Benjamin's left. Kelvin Benjamin's stats productions weren't the 2014 numbers Carolina Panthers fans wanted. Then he had that horrific knee injury in 2015. Now he's gone again. So that means our receiving core is going to be Devin Funchess, Curtis Samuel. I actually don't ever want to see him on starting again. I was all yes, he came out of Ohio State, he's good. And he dropped the shoulder pass. I'm leave. And then Russell Shepard. Russell Shepard!
He was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I don't care! He had a really good game against the Niners, but Russell Shepard is. And the thing is that makes it more infuriating is Ted Gibbs looking good in New Orleans. I mean, I'm just like, you shouldn't have cut him.
The Panthers lost the division at this point.
But the thing is, no one is good enough to take the division and run away with it. Like, the Saints might win the division.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same every year in the NFC South.
The division is still up for grabs. I mean, last year, the only time is like Atlanta ran away with it. But there's no way Tampa Bay is coming up to win this division.
No, they're 2-5. Jameis Winston is looking terrible.
I mean, Tampa Bay honestly wants to draft a quarterback at this point. It's bad. Atlanta's not going to come out and win it. New Orleans kind of has it, but they feel like they're holding on to it like they could let it go at any point.
Carolina my thing with New Orleans is I think Drew Brees is playing great. The only thing they really need to do is make sure that they don't change what they're doing. And, Mark Ingram can't fumble 2 times a game either. That was huge. They almost lost to...
He's playing well, but not as well as last year.
I mean, Drew Brees is still Drew Brees this year.
That's the point. But, I mean, look at it. If they win out their division, right? Carolina's not going to be in the playoffs. This is where I'm sorry, I'm getting my headphones off, but playoff predictions are like, I need to talk about it. But the New Orleans Saints are not really a threat into the playoffs. I mean, Drew Brees is a great quarterback, and he's always going to do crazy things. But the NFC South is such a mess. Honestly, I don't know what Carolina's thinking about getting. There's not a great wide receiver left in the draft. The draft hasn't started. But there's not a great wide receiver in the draft. So what are you doing? I know you need cornerbacks, but you don't need draft picks to pick one up off the street. And there's not great corners in the street. So what are you doing? It's honestly infuriating. I mean, the GM's gone, and we're like, yes, we need Dave Gettleman gone. Now we want the offensive coordinator gone. I'm just like, it's a mess in Carolina. It really is. And I think Carolina Panther fans are a bit shocked.
I don't know how the Bills. I don't even know how the Bills pulled it off.
It's a robbery. It's a robbery.
Someone file a criminal charge on this one.
You know what? Honestly, I need to file an APB for Kelvin Benjamin in the stat sheet. He's been missing in action. He had a nice touchdown catch against the Buccaneers, but
it's the Buccaneers.
I don't know what's going on with Carolina. I really don't. Or the whole NFC South in general. It's been a mess.
So any other thought? So those are the three trades. Some additional thoughts that speculation or whatever. One thing that me has stood out. Apparently the Browns were close to getting AJ McCarron.
They were so close. I was like,
but they were close at the beginning of the draft too. So it's kind of like, well, make up your mind. I mean, the Bengals need to start AJ McCarron. I've had enough of Andy Dalton because he is so inconsistent and he's not good. He's not elite. The only reason the Bengals are winning games is because of AJ Green. That's it.
Isn't it Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap though?
On the defensive side, yes. On the offensive side, it's just AJ Green.
It's not even their running game. It's not coaching.
No.
It's AJ Green. Mm-hmm. And honestly, if I was AJ Green, which I'm not that tall, I demand release. But I really don't see Andy Dalton taking the Bengals to a playoff win. It's not going to happen. AJ McCarron has shown that he can play. So I'm surprised he's not starting, or I'm surprised he's not demanding a start. I'm surprised Denver didn't go after him. Because what happens after Trevor Siemian, we've learned he cannot play. That's
what I was trying to tell you, but you're like, oh, he's pretty good.
I'm like, look at their options. Paxton Lynch does not have much experience. Brock Osweiler, we all saw what happened in Houston.
Okay, yeah.
We all saw what happened. So the logical choice is to go with someone that understands the playbook. He's easy to coach. The team likes him. Go with Trevor Siemian. He's the captain. And then the Chargers game happened. We're like, yep, I'm done. I give up. So I'm surprised the Bengals didn't deal him to the Broncos. They're not going to get Von Miller, but they might get Shane Ray out of it, which is a definite upgrade over Fontaine Perfect. But the fact is, Andy Dalton, it's like they're so in love with Andy Dalton, they're willing to lose for him. It's like it's infectious. It's like a parasite. Like he's not good for Cincinnati, and the problem is he's good enough that he'll never get caught. Mm-hmm. But he's not good enough to take you anywhere. It's almost like Jay Cutler in Chicago. He's good enough that there's nothing better than available.
I would say Andy Dalton's a little better than what Cutler was in Chicago.
Okay, Jay Cutler has a better deep ball, but
you always say that,
but yet
I never see him throw it.
He can throw it really far.
Yeah, but you can't do that when Kenny Stills keeps dropping the balls.
Here we go again with Kenny Stills. But honestly, I really am surprised. I thought the deal was going to get done because Hugh Jackson wants a quarterback in Cleveland. Everyone wants a quarterback in Cleveland. And I was like, DeShone Kizer, I kind of believed in him in the preseason. It's really hard. It was really hard.
Honestly, at this point, any quarterback that goes to Cleveland
is doomed to fail.
Well, exactly. I mean, we have not seen any quarterback succeed in Cleveland. And
no.
I want to say that, Deshaun Watson, obviously he's doing phenomenal. But I think he would have ended up like DeShone Kizer. I really think that...
I honestly think Watson, has more... I'm not saying just Kaiser's, stupid or doesn't have the mental capacity to be a leader. But I honestly feel like Deshaun Watson has, Russell Wilson, Joe Montana,
mentality. I know what you're saying. Yeah,
leadership, almost more so than Tom Brady. Not like Tom Brady, because Tom Brady's a great player, but do you really see Tom Brady being a true leader of men? Because Brady's great.
Deshaun Watson is leading the team.
Leading
the team.
He has LeBron James leadership mentality. I'm not gonna bash on Bill O'Brien, but he is the coach of that team. He is the glue that is holding that house together. Because if you take him away, even if he gets injured, he would still be the leader, kind of like J.J. Watt is.
I would say so, yes.
Kind of like the LeBron James. Okay, LeBron, what do you want to be successful? That's what they literally call Deshaun Watson. What do you need to be successful? Because he's the best chance they've had to win the Super Bowl in years. They got receivers, they got running backs, they got defense. They need J.J. Watt back, though. Mm-hmm. They miss him. But I'm so happy he was not the first overall pick.
I would agree.
Because if Myles Garrett went...
I will say that Deshaun Watson was the best quarterback in the draft, but honestly, he wouldn't have looked like that if he went to Cleveland. Neither would Mahomes. If you're saying Mahomes, neither would Mahomes. So
I think it worked out beautifully, except for Trubisky, because he's a good kid. He looks good, but him in Chicago.
I will say the Bears were resembling, like you said with Jay Cutler, were they're good enough that if you just kind of take it as an easy game, they're gonna come up and beat you.
Yeah.
But you can beat them. It's kind of a weird
The Bears are the Cincinnati The Bears are the Chiefs with a worse defense. They kind of have that game managing mentality.
But they don't have as good of an offense, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying, because they have that kind of that mentality.
They're kind of like a downsized Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Tariq Cohen is their Tyreek Hill, but he's not as fast. And, Tyreek Hill doesn't throw as well. What were you doing, Tyreek? Where was that pass going? It's going into the ground. It was bad.
Yeah, so that was basically the trade deadline stuff. So
that was horrifying. That was horrifying than Halloween. That honestly, if that showed up to work as a costume, I would be terrified. But it's reality.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching this trade.